back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a beehive inspection. So a little while ago we were graciously gifted some bees from my husband's brother who moved to an area where he wasn't allowed to have bees. And of course we jumped all over that offer and said yes. But we didn't know anything about bees, and so we started looking for beginner bee courses that we could take so that we could get that foundation of knowledge that you need in order to keep your bees alive. So the bee course that we ended up taking was at the Dancing Bees, and John was our instructor there. Now that place is located in Port Hope, and I highly recommend that if you are looking to get bees, or you have bees but you want that foundation of knowledge that would help you to make things easier along the way, then definitely look into taking that course. There are a couple other courses that we're actually going to be signing up for. One of them is the maintenance of your hive, because there are many things that you just don't know that you need to make sure that are sound and healthy for your hive, like making sure that you are preventing or helping to prevent mites. That's the last thing that you want to be in your hive. The other course that we're going to be taking is harvesting honey. So it probably sounds really silly, like you're just going to pull out the hive, take it apart and extract the honey, but we've never done it before, and we want to make sure that we leave enough honey, enough food in the hive for the bees throughout the winter. So we're going to make sure that we have the knowledge we need to keep our hives alive. Now, one of the things that I learned at the beginning course was that your hive, the characteristics of your hive, are all dependent on your queen. So if you have a really gentle, passive queen, then your hive is going to be exactly the same way, and you won't need a bug jacket like this one. You'll basically be able to just go and stand over your hive, do your inspections, do your maintenance, and your bees will be fine with it. However, if your queen is a little on the angry side, then your hive is most likely going to be angry, and doing your inspections or your maintenance is going to have to be done quicker than you think, as well as you're going to need the protection. So we didn't know what kind of bees we had, and my brother-in-law didn't know what kind of queens he had bought originally. So we made sure that we had the protection of the bee jackets. We had long pants on. We had our socks pulled up over our pants. We had the jacket pulled down over our gloves, and we just made sure that we were protected as much as possible, because if for the sake of arguments, we were going to have angry bees, we didn't want to get stung. So what we did is we started on our all white hive first, and it seemed to be going really well, keeping in mind that it was the first inspection we had ever done, and it was just after taking that bee course. And I thought that the bees were not as gentle or passive as the bees that were at the Dancing Bee site, but they weren't angry. They were kind of buzzing around me, but they weren't angrily buzzing around me, and there is a difference. And so for those of you that have bees, you know what I'm talking about. There is a very significant difference between a passive bee kind of flying around you and an angry bee buzzing around you. And so as we were going through the motions of checking to see if there was brood and how much honey was being produced, and was the queen okay, and different things like that, the bees did start to get a little bit angrier, and they did start to buzz a little bit more around me. And I had to keep reminding myself to breathe, Sherry, just breathe, because bees will sense that you are starting to get a little bit anxious about the fact that they're buzzing a little bit more around you. And so we got through that first hive, and my husband and I both agreed that, that hive was neither passive nor angry. They were kind of in the middle. And I think that if we were a little bit more experienced with doing a hive inspection, then they probably wouldn't have gotten, we wouldn't have sensed that they were starting to get angry with us, because we would have been quick and out of there. The second hive was a different story. And so the second hive is green on the bottom, and then there's the brown box on top. And we just assumed that it would be the same kind of thing. And we were thinking, okay, we're experienced now. We've already done one. It'll be easy doing the second one. Well, we weren't even really into it too far when I realized that the bees were starting to get angry right away, and realized that the two queens that we have in each of our hives are very different. So we tried to go as quick as we could. I, at one point, thought that there was a bee in my jacket, so of course that kind of raised my anxiety that I already had. And then I started to really feel them buzzing like pretty angrily around me. And I started to step away, and I knew not to run. I knew not to swat them. I just started to quietly walk away, and they actually followed me a good 100 feet. And then they kind of just said, okay, the threat that we're following is not doing anything, and they left me alone. So this time around, I'm a little bit more nervous about doing that second hive, and I would actually just rather not do it. But that's not a good beekeeper, right? Like, we need to check our hives to make sure everything is okay in them, and that they're doing the job that they need to do, and that they're not building what they need to build incorrectly or in the wrong area. We need to make sure that our queen is still actively working in there and producing brood. And we need to make sure that there's going to be enough honey, like I mentioned, for their food source throughout the winter. So we're going to suit up and protect ourselves. And then we're going to start the hive inspection with obviously the nicer hive, because I don't want to anger the angry hive and then have to stand next to it and do the nicer hive. And so I just want to show you the bug jacket or the bee jacket that I'm going to be wearing. So it is double paned, so I can pull it on either side. Like, I'm pulling a piece here, and then there's more of it over here. This part here goes up over my head. It zips up. There's a Velcro piece here. And really, bees shouldn't be able to get into these jackets as long as when you're bending over your hive, your jacket isn't coming up and then you're not pulling it down over bees. So you really want to be careful about that. But let's get going. My husband is just getting the smoker ready, and then we are going to start this inspection. Oh, there's lots in there too, eh? Oh, what are they building there?
It's a wasp.
Oh. Okay. So that's not good. I know, but why aren't the worker bees or the guards kicking them out? Here, do some more smoke. They're getting angry. I can hear them. And these are the semi-nice ones. Yeah, it's in there. Oh, it's on top. Yeah, because when we removed the top one and we couldn't find the queen, we didn't know if we had allowed her to move up. And so we didn't want to limit her from going into the bottom one to start building the brood.
getting louder, hey? Oh my god, I gotta pull my jacket down. Yeah, just take the top off first. Yeah, we'll have to clean that up a bit. Just remove what they're trying to build on that lid. I don't think she would be on this anyways. Well, I think she's probably in there doing her job. Holy, look at how full it is. Full. Yeah, I know. Well, because we messed up a bit, right? Like, probably shouldn't have put this up here. Might have to smoke them a little bit more.
It's right there in front of you.
Yeah. There, then you can clean it better without harming them. So we have to get another one of those tools, eh? Well, because then we could both be doing it at the same time. I can't see anything through this, to be honest. I thought I had one in my jacket last time, but there wasn't.
I feel it crawling on my arm.
Yeah, I could feel something crawling on me before too. So don't pull out the empty one that you think is empty. Pull out one.
It's empty.
You think the one you're pulling out has something in it? Oh yeah. So they're working hard. Oh, there's lots of... What is going on over here? Yeah, but what is all the... What is that? I can't see it. What are they building? Why are they building it like that?
I'm in the wrong direction.
I don't understand why they're... I don't understand why they're building it so, like, tall like that. Like...
Take a picture of this and we'll take it with us. Nothing else on this screen.
Okay.
Which side was it on?
It was on that side. So why are you putting it in the opposite way? Because you're not supposed to. Put it back in the way it was. Yeah, because it fits in properly with the other one. I don't understand why there's so many bees on the one side. Maybe smoke them again. Why there's so many bees on the one side, and then all of that on the other side. Ooh, that one has honey on it, I think. You're pulling up the other one now. Oh. Well, maybe pull up a different one then. You don't need to pull the one out with honey, maybe. You have a wasp around you. Look, it's right there. Tight and heavy. Holy crap. It's dripping. You broke some of it open.
Okay.
Don't hang it over the thing though. Oh my gosh. That looks good. Yeah, they got to start working on the other sides. Oh my. All right, jam it back
I
in.
think we should take this one out.
No, put it back in. We don't have...
It's got too much honey on it, Sherry.
Put it back in, babe.
Why?
We need to go talk to them at Dancing Bees. It has a lot of honey on it, but maybe they need that for winter.
There's another one down here.
But we don't know what it looks like yet. We also didn't bring anything out with us to, like, carry it in, so let's just... What? I meant to collect the honey as it's dripping out, so... No. Because then we're wasting honey into the wagon. Anyways, let's just wait till we go to Dancing Bees and talk to them. We're going to have to come back in here to do maintenance anyways. Want to put the lid back on?
Yeah, at some point we've got to empty that one.
Here, show it to me. Oh, so that's brood, isn't it? Where's... I don't know, it's pretty flat. It might actually be.
It's not sunk in.
Yeah.
So there's cracks in these ones over here. Top right.
Yeah, I know. Hold on, let me...
This video.
No, I can't do anything right now. It won't allow me to do anything without taking my gloves off. I don't really want to do this one, to be honest.
So we're done the inspections. It's really hot out here. And it ended in a bit of a disaster because we got to the second one, and as I had mentioned just about an hour ago, that I was a little nervous about doing the second one because the bees are a lot angrier in that hive. As we were doing it, it didn't take them long to start really buzzing loudly around me, and I started to panic a little bit. Watch out, Jaxie. I started to panic a little bit, and they actually were sticking to my gloves, and all I could think about was that they were going to sting my fingers, and how was I going to garden when I had my fingers stung by the bees? And so I started to like move them off my hands with my other hand, and they started to buzz a lot louder around me. I actually walked away from the hive again. Hold on, honey. I walked away from the hive again, left my husband for a second time with that angry hive by himself, and I probably walked a good 250 feet, and they were still buzzing around me. The problem is that the dogs were outside and they ran to me. They were very excited to see me, and the bees, most of the bees left me and actually went to the dogs. So in total, I was stung 3 times. I think Jax was stung on his back. Lily was stung on her back, but she was also stung twice in her private area. And so we didn't know that she was actually being stung there. She was kind of whimpering as she ran around. I went over to her, I grabbed one of the bees off of her back, and she still continued to do that. Her tail was right down, almost down and in between her legs. At one point, she was actually, laying on our steps, really weird and kind of whimpering. And so my son and I realized that there was obviously something else going on, and we flipped her over, and there were bees there. And so we pulled those bees off of her. She ran around a little bit. By this time, my husband had come back over to us to see kind of what the commotion was about. And she was still whimpering, and so I flipped her over again, and he was able to pull out a stinger that was in her girl parts. And so poor girl has had a day. And I don't know what we're going to do about that hive, because it's doing any kind of maintenance, honey extraction, anything with that hive is really making me nervous right now. And so if any of you out there are experienced beekeepers and you have any tips for me to calm them down besides using the smoke that we've been using, please let me know, because we are going to have to do some winter maintenance on that hive, and I'm really nervous to do that. So would appreciate any help that you could give us. Anyway, so I am going to end the video for today and make sure that my poor girl is okay. And we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for spending time with me.